you, Mr. Kazicki?
No.
Mr. Crane, do you have counsel? Was that you, Mr. Barron?
Your Honor, Todd Barrett, I did speak with Mr. Crane prior to the court calling the case today. I think that at this time, Mr. Crane's probably best served proceeding is on his own. There are some constitutional arguments that he's raising that I don't think as a member of the bar I can.
Oh, is he a sovereign citizen?
He's making some sovereign arguments, yes.
Okay, I have very little patience for them. I will let you know that, sir. So, okay, tell me your name.
My name is Randall Crane. That's a living name, not a corporate fiction.
So you're a real person named
I am
Randall
a real
Crane.
person. Okay. I'm
Okay,
here.
no, listen to me. Sir, you're here today because you have some charges against you. All right.
I'm challenging the court's jurisdiction.
Okay, well, denied. Your motion's denied. I have jurisdiction to the Constitution of the state of Michigan. What's your next? I'm not arguing with you, sir. I have jurisdiction.
You
So,
have to provide subject matter jurisdiction as well
Okay.
as personal jurisdiction to me.
what else? What else?
You do not have jurisdiction over the natural.
I just said I did.
No, you don't.
All right. All right.
Okay.
So, sir, do you want to proceed on these cases and talk to the prosecutor? Don't look on your phone while you're talking to me. If you
My
don't
notes
know-
are on-
No, you listen to me. If you don't know your sovereign citizen arguments well enough to come up here and say them, I can tell you can't have a court. I can tell you can't have a phone in here.
In other words, learn your script.
I want you to listen to me. You're here today on misdemeanor charges. No talking. You're brought into court. You've already been arraigned. You have a charge of interfering with police officers in the while they're doing official business. That's a misdemeanor punishable by up to 90 days in jail and a fine of up to $500. You also have a civil infraction for operating using a mobile electronic device, first offense while operating a motor vehicle, a charge of no proof of insurance. Those are both civil infractions. Civil infraction for no proof of or no registration in a motor vehicle. So those are the charges against you, sir. I'm going to tell you the rights that are actually real rights that you have in this court. You have a right to an attorney appointed at public expense if you are indigent without money to hire an attorney, and if the offense charge requires a minimum jail sentence or the court determines that it might sentence you to jail. The appointing authority will decide if you are indigent and appoint counsel if you are eligible. You may have to repay the expense for an appointed attorney. You may contest your ability to pay the ordered fees if the court attempts to collect any cost for an attorney, and the court must determine your ability to pay at that time. If you have a trial, you have the following rights. You have a right to, this is how trials work. You have a right to call witnesses to speak for you at trial, and you can get an order signed by the court to require witnesses to come to court. You have a right to see, hear, and question all witnesses against you at trial. You have a right to be a witness for yourself or to remain silent. If you chose not to be a witness on your own behalf, the prosecutor could not comment on your refusal to testify. Lastly, you have a right to be presumed innocent unless you are proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. If you enter a plea, obviously you'd be waiving those rights. You also have a right to be released on bond. Now, it looks like you previously stood mute on these charges, so you're here today for a pretrial. You have a few options, sir, under the law of the United States, the Constitution of the state of Michigan, and statutory law and court rules in the state of Michigan. You can either retain your own attorney to proceed on this case, or you can have a pretrial with the prosecutor directly and try and work out an agreement, or we can set it for a jury trial. Okay, those are your options. You can get an attorney, use a court appointed attorney, but you understand that attorneys have an obligation to follow the law and not make frivolous arguments, which is what you want to make today. And if an attorney makes those arguments on your behalf, I could sanction them. So no attorney on this green earth is going to come in and make the frivolous arguments you're making on your behalf. Or you can speak to the prosecutor, or we can just set it for a jury trial. Out of those, I don't want to hear it. I want you to pick out of those four options what you want to do. Hire an attorney, speak with court appointed attorney, talk directly to the prosecutor to work towards a resolution, or set a jury trial. Pick.
Let me ask you a question.
No, I asked you a question and I'm telling you to answer it.
And I have the right to understand my rights and understanding.
Sir,
Before we even get into this courtroom, let me set the stage, because this case is a perfect storm of overconfidence, misinformation, and a judge who has absolutely no patience for either. Today's defendant, Randall Crane, isn't just walking into court with charges, he's walking in armed with a script he clearly learned online. The problem? The courtroom isn't theories on. He's calm, direct, and extremely familiar with these arguments. And that's what makes this so compelling. Randall Crane honestly believes he's discovered some legal cheat code, while the judge already knows exactly how this is going to end. As we move forward, watch how fast confidence turns into frustration, how defiance turns into consequences, and how refusing to answer simple questions escalates a routine hearing into something far more serious. This isn't about debating the Constitution, it's about what happens when fantasy collides.
Have a seat.
Yeah, where is he? Okay, well, that might never happen, but, what was that guy's name on that file? Because I'm assuming did he leave?
Cream, he did.
Did he leave?
Randall
Yes.
Crane.
He's big mad. Well, I need that file, so I'm gonna give him a bench warrant. All right. All right. Are you okay, Amy?
Yeah.
I'm coming. I promise I'll get to you real.
RFK Jr. is correct. Fluoride in water has hardened a lot of brains.
I'm just, you know what? I know I should be more patient. I'm so tired of the sovereign citizen. All right, we're coming back up. This is 2509380M, the City of Taylor versus Randall Crane. Mr. Crane, you want to come back up? Mr. Crane, did you have a chance to go over your constitutional rights that I provided to you?
Yes, I understand my constitutional rights.
Okay, thank you, sir. So at this time, I gave you 4 options. Would you like to retain your own attorney? Would you like to speak with House counsel and have an appointed attorney? Would you like to meet directly with the prosecutor? Or would you like to set the matter for jury trial?
I'm going to be requesting for an order of change of venue.
Denied. Anything else? There's no basis for that, sir. So I'm asking you, we'll just set it for a jury trial, okay?
I have to understand everything in regards to my case.
Sir, I gave you your constitutional rights so that you could review them. I also gave you the attorney,
I understand
a
that,
court-appointed attorney to go over those rights with. So I gave you an opportunity to understand your rights. I'm not going to entertain, listen, I'm not entertaining your sovereign citizen arguments because they're unfounded and they're not legal. There's no legal basis for them. So I'm not doing it. So now I'm asking you, out of the 4 choices I gave you, which one would you like to do?
I am required to understand everything in regards to my case,
Okay.
including subject jurisdiction matters.
All right, well, you could.
This moment right here is incredibly important, and it often goes right over people's heads. When a licensed attorney openly tells the court that they cannot ethically argue their client's position, that's not weakness, that's professional responsibility. Attorneys are interprets that as confirmation that he's onto something groundbreaking. This is a recurring theme in sovereign citizen cases, the belief that every rejection is proof of a hidden truth, rather than evidence the argument doesn't work.
Do your research. I'm setting this for a jury trial. We'll see you back for your jury trial on November 14th of 2025 at 9:00 a.m. I really recommend you retain an attorney prior to that date, sir, because I know I'm going to tell you what you're not going to do: waste the citizens of Taylor's time with your nonsensical arguments. You're going to come in. You're going to try your case. Again, if you want to talk to House counsel, you could do so. All
I'm
right.
not wasting the city of Taylor's time.
And here it is, the opening line of the sovereign citizen script. The idea of a living man versus a corporate fiction has been tested in courts across the country for decades, and it has failed every single time. There is no legal mechanism that allows a person to opt out of jurisdiction by declaring themselves separate from their legal name. What's fascinating is how doesn't equal credibility, especially in court. Judges don't respond to declarations, they respond to law. And Judge Shackelford doesn't debate this claim because there's nothing to debate. The law already answered it long ago. This is where the disconnect becomes obvious. Randall thinks he's initiating a legal challenge.
This is a speeding ticket that was issued on the 9th of May at about 1:30 in the morning. You're eastbound 11 Mile in Lafayette. You were cited 35 and a 30. You can admit or deny responsibility, or you can admit responsibility with an explanation. How do you wish to proceed?
Not guilty.
Raise your right hands, please. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth?
Yes.
Okay. The officer will testify first, please.
Your Honor, on the listed date and time, I was traveling eastbound on 11 Mile approaching Lafayette when I observed a black 2021 GMC Yukon traveling westbound on 11 Mile, eastbound on 11 Mile when I activated my front moving opposite radar and got a reading at a 47 miles per hour in a 35 mile per hour zone. I also observed the vehicle moving at a very high rate of speed, and that's when I activated my radar. The radar was tested before and after my shift, and I am certified to operate radar, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Wiggins? Sir?
You want to hear my statement, is what you say?
Yes.
Okay. I'm Jonathan Wiggins. I was coming home from work, 1:30. I take that route.
We've lost sound.
No, he froze.
He froze. We lost sound.
Let me see if I can call.
Do we have a phone number?
We do.
Your Honor, I'd like to just to clarify something. I was traveling, I might have missaid something in my testimony, but I was traveling westbound. The vehicle was traveling eastbound on 11.
I don't know what happened, but it just cut off on me.
Yeah, but we got you back.
Okay.
So where it left off was, you said you were on your way home from work?
Yeah, I get off at 1:15, and I take 11 Mile every day, and I know to do 35 miles an hour on 11 Mile Road and 45 miles an hour on Woodward. I don't have no reason to be racing up and down the street. I'm 60 years old. It was a car on the side of me when he was in front of us, facing us. And when he pulled me over, he said, "You know, you pulled me over for?" I say, "No, I don't." He was like, "You were speeding." And I was like, "Well, it was two cars. We were side by side on the lane. So how was I speeding?" And he said, "I visually radared you at 47." And I said, "Excuse me?" And at first he didn't have a radar. When I read my ticket, it says that he used a radar. And then he said, "Well, I'm just going to give you a ticket for 1 to 5 over." I still take this route every day. I'm tiptoeing just to get to 75 so that I can get home. It's kids racing up and down Woodward and all type of sports.
The officer was opposite direction.
Yes, he was facing us. Yes, coming from another direction. Then he turned around and got behind us. Got behind me, and I saw him. So I'm still doing 35 miles an hour down the street. Then he pulls me over. He had the time to read the one car plate next to me, and he had a chance to read my plate. He pulled me over and said that I did 1 to 5 over, but I was really doing 47 or something. And I take this route every day. I work at the hospital.
This is where courtroom dynamics really matter. Courtrooms run on respect, order, and control, and the judge is the one who sets all free. Looking at your phone while a judge is speaking isn't just rude, it signals that you don't take the proceeding seriously. And that's dangerous when the person speaking has the authority to jail you. Notice how the judge immediately shuts this down. He's not